So, hi, hey, hello everyone. It is day 2 of my 7 days of Halloween. So, in the first video, I did kind of an informative, you know, short video or whatever. So, today I'm going to be doing something a little bit more fun, to me at least, and just talking about something that I've enjoyed over the years. So, when I was younger, my favorite TV show was The Simpsons. See my little Homer? And I can never remember Itchy and Scratchy, though. I always got them confused. But I'm pretty sure the mouse was Scratchy. But yeah, there's him, there's Homer, and Itchy, the kitty, and Bart. Bart was always my favorite. Bart is awesome. And they're kind of cool because they're cute and they have like these solid black eyes, so they're cute and creepy all at the same time. Oh, these are made by Funko too. Oh, cool. So anyways, what I'm going to be doing is counting down 10 of my favorite Treehouse of Horror segments. I don't watch The Simpsons too much anymore. I don't know, it just, it doesn't, like, just capture me anymore like it did, like, years ago when I was a kid. I think it's mainly because I do prefer the style and what they did, with the older episodes versus the new ones. I'll watch it once in a while, but I really do prefer their 90s to early 2000s seasons. But for some reason, I always love the Treehouse of Horror episodes, which are basically usually 3 little short stories that they do every Halloween. Except the first season, because the first episode was based around Christmas. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So ever since the second season, they've pretty much had a Halloween episode or Halloween special every year. Sometimes it doesn't always come on Halloween, but they usually have one. And those are always my favorites. I'm a lover of short stories. I love humor and spookiness. That's kind of like my thing. I'm not always truly a hardcore gore and horror fan. Like I said, I really love short stories, especially when it comes to kind of mystery, humor, spookiness kind of thing. So if you'll notice, I really read a lot of like YA and stuff like that, short stories, and I think the Simpsons usually do it perfectly. There hasn't been a Halloween special that I haven't liked at least one segment out of it. So, shall we get started, Homer? Yes, we shall. I talk like Homer, but I can't do a Homer voice. So, I can't get Homer to stand up. And you can only see the top of his head. Okay. So, at number 10, I have Homer 3, or I think it's Homer Squared, or something like that. Now, a lot of the specials that they've done, the segments, are based off of horror movies, stuff from the Twilight Zone, other sci-fi movies and TV shows, and just randomness. So basically, in Homer 3, I think that's what it's called, Homer finds an alternate dimension, basically, through his wall, and he gets stuck in there. And you'll notice they throw a lot of, like, I don't know if you want to call it pop culture references for some of the stuff in The Simpsons that they do. Um, but it looks all freaking like weird, and it's just like black with these shapes and everything. And Homer makes a comment. He goes, "There's so much I don't know about astrophysics. I wish I read that book by that wheelchair guy." I'm like, oh my god. But that's a fairly good episode. I enjoy it. It's weird. They kind of mix animation with like real life. I don't know how they do that, but that was pretty interesting for what they did that many years ago. Coming in at number 9 is probably one that's actually pretty fucking scary to some degree, considering the fact that it's a cartoon and everything, and that's Bad Dream House. Basically, they end up in a haunted house, and it has a scary voice that tells them to do stuff, and basically the house is alive, and it's just really creepy and disturbing. It's actually one of the episodes, or one of the segments that actually pretty fucking scared me to some degree. Because it really is creepy, and that one really, really is a scary story to some degree. I think it's mainly the voice and everything. Um, what did I put down for number 8? Oh, number 8 is Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. Now, I'm sure you can figure out what they parodied this off of. I cannot fucking speak today. Oh boy. So basically, Willie, the groundskeeper, is set on fire. I don't remember how he gets set on fire. And nobody pays attention because they're all at a school meeting in the 13th day of the 13th month. Which, by the way, on the show, the 13th month is called Smarch. So watch out for that stupid Smarch weather. Anyways, Willie sits down, waits for them, and burns alive, basically. And tells them that he will go after their children in their sleep. And so Bart and Lisa must fight Willie in their dreams, basically. That one is kind of a scary one mixed with a little bit more humor than the last one, I'd say. Number 7 is Homer and the Devil. This one is where Homer is out of donuts and wants to sell his soul for another donut. It turns out that the devil is actually Ned Flanders because it's always the person you least suspect. And so they end up having this trial of like these old evil dead people and stuff, and yeah, it's actually kind of funny because basically he doesn't finish the donut, so the devil or Ned can't have his soul. And there's a note on the last piece of donut that says forbidden or whatever. I haven't seen it for a while. But I guess forbidden made it sound more tasty, so he eats it, and this like portal opens up on in their kitchen floor, and he is trying to suck him down in. And Marge is like, "Homer, did you eat that donut?" Like, oh my god. I just love how nonchalant they are on some things, especially Marge. Number 6 is more or less hilarious. I don't remember the exact name of that one, but it's where they find out that Maggie is actually the daughter of, I think it's King is the male alien. Basically, Marge was abducted and she's carried an alien baby, which was Maggie. and they find out when Maggie loses her baby legs and it gets tentacles. And it's just hilarious. Homer calls Marge an intergalactic hussy, and they go on the Jerry Springer show and stuff like that, and it's just out there in all its weird glory. Number 5 is Nightmare Cafeteria. This one is basically where they are trying to eat the kids at school. They eat the German exchange student named Uter and have Uterbraten. And when they go downstairs to the laundry room to tell Marge that the teachers are trying to eat them, her response basically is, you go straight to that school, you look them straight in the eye and say, "Don't eat me." Again, you gotta love Marge. She's probably the best out of these segments here. Number 4 revolves around Bart's birthday, Homer forgetting, and going out to look for a birthday present. He comes across this mysterious shop, and the shopkeeper gives him this doll, which is a Krusty the Clown doll. It turns out the doll is pure evil and tries to kill Homer, and normally you wouldn't say that a killer doll and everything and stuff like that would be funny, but it's pretty freaking hilarious. You just feel so bad for Homer in this one. But there is a solution. A guy comes over to see what's wrong with the doll, and it turns out that it was just set to evil. I guess there's a setting on dolls and somebody set it to evil. And he ends up hooking up with Lisa's Malibu Stacy doll. Yeah, that one's pretty funny. The next one is The Shining, which is a parody of this, which I still need to finish reading, and I actually hear it's pretty terrifying, so I'm looking forward to finishing this. But for those of you who have read it and have seen the movies, because yes, there are actually 2 versions, you know the story. Basically, Homer and Marge and the kids go to take care of the hotel for Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns cuts off cable and takes away beer, so they will focus on their job and everything. And no TV and no beer make Homer something go crazy. And Marge, oh my god, here we go with Marge again. Mom, is Dad gonna kill us? We're just gonna have to wait and see. Another YouTuber was doing like the episodes, like almost what I'm doing here, counting down, the Treehouse of Horror episodes and stuff. And he brought up that line that Marge said about, we'll just have to wait and see. And he said, and I agree with this, that line should be in every horror movie. So, we are at number 2. Number 2 is Dial Z for Zombie. Bart basically has a book report to do, goes to the mysterious side of the library, and picks up, I think it's supposed to be like the Necronomicon or something like that. Basically, he opens the book and these faces come out and it's telling him to beware and it's evil and those like wailing kind of voices. And he holds it and he goes, cool. Like, part of me in a way would be scared, but another part would probably think it's really cool. So they do the spell, I think it was to try and bring Lisa's cat back. But they end up raising the dead of the entire cemetery. And Homer, Marge, and the kids, they all have to fight and kill zombies. And just so you know, they don't like to be called zombies. They prefer the living impaired. So we are finally at number one. Yes, number one. Number one is based off one of my favorite poems. Actually, it may even just be my favorite poem. And I know I'm more into the alternative and gothic and spookiness sometimes, but honestly, I would love this poem either way because while it's kind of, I think, stereotyped as Halloweeny and something those kind of people would like and only those would like, it really is a very deep poem and it's a classic. And the thing about it is, The Simpsons, they just redid it perfectly because it had The Simpsons feeling to it, but it didn't take away from what the poem was. It was so deep and dark, and I think it was just one of their best segments ever, and that is their version of The Raven. It was just, I think, perfectly done. And one of my, you know, favorite, versions of that. So that is my top 10 favorite Treehouse of Horror segments. Now, these aren't whole episodes or anything, these are just the little stories within each one of them, so they're from various seasons and stuff. But those are 10 of what I think are the best stories. And so if you want, just let me know what your favorites were and, if you enjoy the Treehouse of Horror as much as I did, because those still stand as my favorite Simpsons episodes. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.